We got one of the most fun strikers I've ever seen. What's good, Mandel? How are you?
All good, buddy. How are you?
All good, all good. So, how's your life changed since signing at the UFC?
Zero.
Zero, nothing.
Uh, I mean, I came back home and I'm just a dad again, right? So, my kids don't really care about where I fight. They just know that their dad goes away to train. Um, but yeah, in terms of the trajectory moving forward, it's a lot better, obviously.
Yeah. So, I just want to talk about your last fight a little bit. You put away a former Cage Warriors champion in one round, which was a belt held by McGregor and Paddy Pimblett. How much confidence does that give you going into the UFC?
Yeah, that win on its own doesn't do much for me. I've always known kind of where my skills stand if I can perform properly. But it is nice to beat a guy that at that skill level. Like I really do think that he's a solid fighter. I think he'll probably go on to win a lot more moving forward. Um, and it's nice to fight an opponent of that caliber after having like some softer fights in my last, 3 or 4, to go and show like I've been cultivating skill and ability to to perform in the cage and then go and prove it, that's nice.
Yeah. So, with it being such like a big jump up in skill from your last fight, did it still go how you envisioned it going?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it played out like the fights before it. I just know the way that guy likes to fight. He's a big, powerful striker that's durable, and I don't think you should try to be durable against me. It's a crazy idea.
Yeah. So if I had to guess, I would have guessed that your first martial art was kickboxing.
Hmm.
Was it?
No, no. I started learning Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is like somewhere between judo, karate, and BJJ. Like it's a bit of a mix of the three. It's mostly self-defense based, but I grew up in Ottawa where Jean-Yves Thériault, who's like one of the greats of American freestyle kickboxing, he has a gym there. So a lot of the striking comes from the way that he would move.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started doing Japanese jiu-jitsu?
I think I was 15 or 16.
Yeah. And how did you make the switch to MMA?
It was just kind of a logical progression of things. Like I was always pretty competitive. So once I realized you could actually compete in jiu-jitsu, I would do some grappling tournaments and then I had an amateur kickboxing fight. And then I realized like the coolest thing I think I want to say the first MMA fight I saw was Chuck Liddell against Vernon Tiger White, which is like a million years ago. I was watching it, at I think a f family member's house late night, and I was like, oh man, that's cool. I think I should do that. And then I was just like, what can I do to get good?
Yeah. So how long were you training MMA before you made your debut?
Ages. Like one thing about the scene in Eastern Canada is like it's fairly underdeveloped in terms of how to go from point A to professional fighting. Like there isn't a lot of steps in between. Whereas like let's say you grow up in Russia or Dagestan, like you've been doing sambo your whole life, you've competed in tournaments, and then next thing you're doing like you've learned some boxing, and there are channels to get you where you need to be. Here in Eastern Canada, like we just book amateur fights here and there. People pull out constantly. And if you take it as serious as I did, like you're putting in training camps for nothing, broke. Um, and then finally you cultivate enough of a, you know, resume in amateur MMA that your coach says, okay, it's time for you to try pro MMA. And then the same thing. I think my first pro fight when Fares finally told me I was good to go pro, the guy bailed, at weigh-ins. And I so like it was a long road, but it took a while.
Yeah. So you also have like a really bizarre nickname that you go by. How did you come up with the nickname Rat Garbage, and what does that mean? I can probably see it means race against time on your hoodie. But what does
No,
it
like
mean?
this is kind of a I did this because after winning the Contender Series, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're the oldest guy in the world. You're Unk." I was like, "Oh, okay, so I can turn rat into an acronym for something, time related." But really, it just came out of not not wanting to do what all the other MMA guys were doing at the time. Like back, even still now, like on social media, there's just guys, what this is what I eat in a day as a professional fighter, then a pad session with their coach, then, like a sponsored post for some business that I'm not gonna, you know, want to buy from. So I was just like, I'll do my own thing. And instead of calling it Mandel Nallo MMA, me and some of the guys brainstormed the least marketable nickname possible, and Rat Garbage was the one.
Yeah, it seems like TriStar's got quite a few unks. Like Eamon Zahabi, he's 37, but he's just beat Jose Aldo,
That's
and he's
right.
going on to fight Marlon Vera. What do you think TriStar does different that other gyms do to where the unks are competing with the younger guys?
Yeah. Uh we're so committed to learning the techniques. Like we're not trying to be a flash in the pan, like, oh, we're feeling very athletic, we're recovering quick, we're just gonna run it, and by the time we're 28, we're done. Like we love this so much. We train all the time. And Faraz is obsessed with technique. I think Faraz probably watches 10 hours of technique a day. And then he comes and teaches, 6 hours of technique at night. So it's just like inundated with technique all the time. So it takes a long time to get good in this sport, genuinely good. Like you can have good performances in this sport, but how many world champions have been like they came up in the sport in their early 20s. They got the belt in their mid 20s and now they're nowhere to be seen. There's a ton of those guys because they were good enough to win the belt, but they were not good enough to truly have a long career in the sport. Like it takes a very long time to get good. And we're committed to that at TriStar. I
Yeah.
told Fraz we gotta rename ourselves Old Star. A bunch of us old
Yeah.
dudes, me, Eamon, Rob Font, Louis. We're only accepting guys that are over 35.
So Arnold Allen comes through your gym sometimes, doesn't he? What's
Yeah,
it like
Arnold
training
lived.
with him?
Me and
Huh?
Arnold were roommates for a long
Oh,
time. Yeah, we lived under the gym. He's I think he's planning on coming back out soon. But Arnold is the man. It's funny because I'm so old in TriStar that I still think of Arnold as a new guy. But he's been coming to the gym for like a decade now. But he's awesome. I think at 145, there aren't too many guys that are interesting matchups for the champion, in the top 10, let's say. Like Arnold would be a good matchup, like fun to watch against Volk. He'd be fun to watch against Diego Lopez. I think he cooks Yair if they fight. I don't know. Arnold's the man. Truly an unsung hero of British MMA. You guys got to put him on more.
yeah, we try. He's quite a weird guy. He came up on my Facebook friends, like
Mm.
people you may know. It came up Arnold Allen, and his picture was him shitting in a urinal.
Yeah,
So,
like I don't know what you guys do in the English countryside, but that's his business. We stay out
yeah.
of that.
What was it like living with Arnold?
Good, we stay out of each. I'm my brother's British, so we're both like
Oh,
timid and polite. So we just kind of stay out of each other's way and then meet in the gym. But it was a lot of like not really interacting. So but we hung out all the time. I love Arnold.
yeah. Where's your brother from?
My mother.
Oh, where's your mother from?
My mother is from Bristol.
Bristol. Ah, I'm from up north. Yeah.
No, I've heard it's not great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. And you're
I she moved here when she was probably 7 or 8, so she doesn't remember too much of Bristol.
yeah. And your boy Eamon Zahabi has a big fight coming up. How have you been helping him prepare for Marlon Vera?
Yeah, so we had a little bit of crossover. Like I was preparing for my fight while he just got the news that he was getting Chito. So before that, he was actually helping me because I wanted a guy that's just going to be in my face. Like even though there's a size difference, we work really well together because there's not a lot of ego. Like we both just respect each other's skills so much that it's not like I'm mad if Eamon takes a round off me. And then I sparred him maybe a few times just to give him some looks of what Marlon does. You know, like the guy's like very low volume but has long kicks, and he's like fairly damaging. But honestly, I just think Eamon's Eamon's a hell matchup. Like he's brutal for everybody. He's in your face constantly. He's hyper durable. His technique is top notch. People haven't even seen his ground. His ground is crazy. So I just think giving Eamon as much confidence as possible. This is a perfect matchup. This is what he's wanted, honestly, for a couple months now, maybe since the Munoz fight.
Yeah. If you had a bet on it, how would you say that fight goes?
Uh, Eamon against Marlon.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, the thing about Marlon is he just goes down 10-9 until he scores something damaging. I don't think like Eamon's defense is super tight, and I think if if the guy gives him anything, Eamon's gonna either drop him with Eamon's got a crazy left hook right hand. Um, so either that or Eamon's just gonna smoke him on the ground.
Yeah, nice. One of my favorite moments from you was this beautiful knee KO you got over Carrington Banks. I'm sure everybody brings it up to you.
Yeah.
You didn't even jump off the ground, and it still sent him to the shadow realm. Tell me what that felt like.
It was crazy. It felt like I just lifted my knee up. Like I didn't I didn't even feel his head when my like it just felt like I was taking a big step. But then like you fight and adrenaline's high, whatever, you recover. And then like you're living your life like you didn't like you just want to fight, so you shouldn't have any injuries, you know? So maybe like a week and a half later, I'm feeling my knee and I'm like, ooh, I got a big bruise. I'm like, oh, I must have hit him real hard.
Yeah.
But you know, it was sweet actually because between rounds, my coach Conrad Pla was like, he's dipping his head, you know, you got to throw something in that lane, and
Yeah.
that's something I never practiced. Like a step knee, that's like a weird technique, but it's just like came out in the moment and it was perfect.
Did you notice a big jump in exposure after that KO?
Yes and no, you know, like I'm not good at running with running with hype, you know. So I know I got a bunch of followers and like it got a bunch of impressions. I think the coolest thing was I was on the front page of World Star for a day or something. That was a nice feather in my cap for sure.
God, that's sick.
Yeah, it
All
was
right.
light skins against dark skins.
What? All right. The focus of your Instagram seems to be art over MMA. How long have you been making art for?
Uh, I would say since I started the Instagram, really, like that's one of the sparks for it was like what am I actually going to post on here? And then I just realized that MMA fighters do have a lot of downtime. You know, you can't train 10 hours in a day like somebody with a different like a desk job. You can work it that way harder than you can, or like way longer than you can in MMA. So like all the downtime you can either spend it playing Candy Crush or you can make something. So I figured I would just start making stuff.
Nice. And I seen you on Sam Hyde's podcast. What was it like meeting him?
It was cool. I mean, me and Sam, we've like been in correspondence for forever, you know. I'm a huge fan of what they did with yeah, like pretty much all the MDE stuff. The Ideas Man is like legendary for me. That actually was very impactful in terms of like just committing to something and really doing it properly. And then I used to fight a lot near Connecticut. So I would when I fought and won, I was like, "Oh, Nick Rochefort, the one of the other MDE guys, has an antique store there." So I was like to my wife, "We should go to Nick's antique store." So we went there and I bought a painting, and then basically we've just been friends ever since.
Yeah. Is he different off camera?
No, Sam's pretty genuine, I would say. Like obviously he's a little more way more bombastic on camera, but if you've ever seen him in an interview or anything, he's the same guy. Like he really cares about what he does. Like the main takeaway meeting all three of those guys is like they have a huge passion for giving people a finished product that there's a lot of care taken. Those guys are the best.
Do you think we could ever see you in a sketch?
Yeah, if they need me, like I'm never a friend that's like, hey, put me in this. I
Yeah.
have an idea for this. But if they need a guy to if they need car jitsu too or whatever, I'll I'll do that, you know. I think it would be
All
fun.
right. All right. We're just gonna do a quick fire round and then I'll let you go. All right. I
Yo,
just need short answers for these.
sure.
Okay. What's your favorite way to end a fight?
Head kick,
What's your favorite submission to practice?
anaconda,
Who is your rival?
Louis Sanidakis,
Who is the scariest person at TriStar?
me.
Do you have a secret talent?
No, everything is known.
What is the best video game of all time?
Tekken 3.
Based. What's one message you'd give to the next generation of fighters who will come after you?
Uh, Treat it like a proper job.
All right. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you, mate. It was
Yeah, of
good
course,
speaking to
man.
you.
Of
All right.
course. Keep
So,
hustling. Keep
you
pushing.
too. You too. Good luck in your next fight.
Thank you.
I'll see you later, man.
Peace.
Goodbye.